Hey everybody, this is Strategywizard again, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison review of Splendor designed by Marc Andre and published by Space Cowboys. It's ages 10 plus, 30 minutes, and 2 to 4 players. And I'm going to be comparing it to the Minecraft card game, which is also for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, so a little simpler supposedly, and published by Mattel. Now, these two games, it might seem weird that I'd want to compare these, but mechanically they are so similar. I'd feel kind of weird doing two different reviews. They really belong in the same one in my opinion, so you can see the differences, and whether or not you like Minecraft or not, the mechanics are similar, so there's that. So let's go ahead and go to the table. I'll show you how both of them play, and then we'll come back up and I will explain to you what I think and how they compare to each other. When you're playing with 2 players, this is the setup. There's going to be 3 tiles of nobles. It's always the number of players plus 1 that are going to be available for players to earn. There's 3 rows of cards in the deck that goes with it. There's the level 1, level 2, level 3. They get progressively harder to get, but give you better rewards as you go up. And then you have all of the the jewel tokens that you can use to buy all of these different cards. Now these are good quality. I just want to throw that out there right now. They're like nice poker chip style tokens, and the stickers are already on there when you get the game, which is awesome. Everything is easy to set up because there's a rather nice insert that comes inside the box for all the different tokens and slots for the different cards. So that's great. Now, whenever you set this game up, it's at this point the rules are so simple. I mean, you're literally either going to take tokens, or you're going to buy a card, or you're going to reserve a card. It's pretty much that simple. So you can take 3 tokens of different colors. You can take a green, a blue, and a red. You can take 2 of the same color. If you do that, there has to be at least 4 left. And how many tokens are available depends on the number of players. But basically the idea is you want to try to be as efficient as possible. So you're either going to take 3 tokens so you can get a lot of variety, but if you really are trying to go for something that takes a lot, for example, if you look at the cards, this one needs 3 red. So if you really want to go for that quickly, you might take 2 red just to help yourself get there. But generally you want to try to get 3, because take something like this, for example. It takes a lot of variety, but it takes a total of 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes 5 total gems, 2 blue, 1 white, 1 green, 1 red to get. This one takes 3 red. So you get the idea that the more of one color that it takes, the fewer you need, but at the same time, sometimes it's not so easy to get a lot of one color if other people are taking it, and because there's only so many available depending on the number of players. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to keep buying these cards as you go along. So let's say you had claimed these 3 colors at one point, someone else takes their turn, and then you might go again. You might get a blue and a black and a green, and you're building up your inventory of gems. Well, you can only have a total of 10 gems at a time, and those 10 gems, they can be, of course, any different variety. They could even be this wild, and the wild you only get the wild if you reserve a card, and whenever you reserve one, you can take one that's visible, or you can take one that's draw from the top of the deck, which is a gamble, and I wouldn't recommend it. But let's just say you say, I'll just reserve, well, let's say you reserve something that gives you points, because you'll notice they'll give you a gem, which is important because that's where the engine building comes in this game. But some give you a gem and they give you points. So let's say ooh, 5 diamonds, I'll claim that for later. You'll take this. You can never have more than 3 of these in your hand, but you'll take it, and no one else can ever get this. Immediately you refill. Okay, now we have something that takes even an extra white gem, and it takes, but it gives you an extra point. So that's pretty powerful. So what's going to happen is, if you reserve, you get a wild. A wild can be anything, and that can be very powerful. But if you ever have 10 gems and you get more, then you have to discard down to 10. Now, at some point you might say, oh, I have what it takes to buy something, and you might go, well, let's say I got these 2, another white, another green. You might say, I've got 2 whites, 2 greens. I can afford this card. So you take it, you buy it, you put it in front of yourself, and once you've done that, once you put it in front of yourself, and you'll put these back in their respective piles, once you have this, from now on, your engine is a little more powerful, because this is as if you have 1 black or ebony gem right off the bat. So the more cards you get, and of course you'd refill this, the more cards you get, it's going to get even better. You get another one of these, now it's like you have 2. So that would mean whenever you're trying to buy this card that takes 3 black, 1 red, 1 white, now you only have to spend 1 actual token because you already have 2 here. So 2 plus 1 token is 3, and then you discard a red and a white if you had it to buy that card. So you quickly see that the engine is building. You're buying cards, trying to get your engine so that you can start getting stuff for free. Sometimes you have so many cards here, you can just take a card for free on your turn. I'll just take this for free because I have enough stuff that I don't need any tokens. And you're trying to build up to the point of getting up here to the really good stuff that has 5 points, 4 points. And as soon as someone gets 15 points, you play until everyone's had an equal number of rounds and the game's over. Whoever's the most points wins. You get these nobles if you ever have enough cards to have these symbols. So in the case of this gentleman, or knight, he's got, if you had 3 black cards, 3 red cards, and 3 white cards, and so far I have 2 black, so I'm working towards this guy, then as soon as you get that, at the end of your turn, he will come to you, and that's another 3 points. So there's a few things that are motivating you here. You're basically trying to get these cards that give you points, and of course the really expensive ones, like this one takes 3 green, 6 red, and 3 black. That's very, very hard to get. But as the game goes on, you'll have so many of these cards that you'll be able to get this no problem, and you'll get 4 points for it. That's a large percentage of the 15. Or if you get this one, that's a third of the points that you need, getting you 5 points. So you're wanting to get these cards quickly, but you also want to not forget about this. So this can kind of guide you on what colors you go for along your path. But basically, that's how to play. It's very simple and straightforward engine building, and you just keep going around in turns until, like I say, someone gets to 15 points, you finish the rounds, bam, done deal. So simple, so clean, nice artwork, there you go. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Minecraft card game, and I'll show you how similar it is. So the setup of Minecraft, the card game, is pretty straightforward, just like Splendor. It's a little simpler even. All you have is these rows of resources, and then these rows of, not rows, but you have 5 piles of resources and 4 piles of tools that you can craft. And you have a little reserve card holder. So in here, it doesn't say it specifically in the rules, but I'm assuming you can only reserve 1 card, and I don't even know that I'd want to put it inside of there because I feel like it might damage the card, and I usually don't. I just kind of, it might not damage it, but I just set it to the side. I just know that I've got my 1 card. But anyway, the mechanics are basically the same. You get resources, and then you're able to buy stuff. There's not as much engine building. There's not really engine building going on here, but the general concepts are the same. So what do? On your turn, you can do 2 actions, and those actions can be either to mine something by taking it from the top of one of these stacks. You can craft something by spending your resources to get one of these tools, or you can reserve a card. So in this particular case, what's available resource-wise, unlike in Splendor where it's always visible what's there and it's always the same, it's just that the stacks get depleted and then replenish as people take and spend. Here, whatever's on top is what's available, and you never know what's coming up next. They tell you to put them upside up, which I don't really like, but they have their reasons, I guess, but you don't really have to. I'd really prefer to play with them upside down, but the thing is, because sometimes you'll be messing with these cards and they'll start sliding, and then oh gosh, I see a diamond's coming up, and that's not really so great. But that's neither here nor there. That's the way they want it, so be it. You can do it either way. You can really play it either way, in my opinion. But let's just say you start off and you go, ooh, this right here makes gold. This right here is a wild. It could be used as anything. This is 2 wood. This is 1 wood. That's 1 iron over there. And you'll notice all your different tools that it'll show you. This needs 2 iron and 1 wood. If you're familiar with Minecraft, you recognize the symbols very easily. That tree piece makes a wood planks, which is right here. Technically, it should be I guess a stick, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, it shows you exactly what you need, and the iconography is there. It's just that the gold is this little bitty symbol right here, not the big block. But like I say, if you know Minecraft, then you'll understand what the deal is here, because you use gold to make a gold block like that, an ore block to make a gold ingot. But that being said, just trying to get that out of the way. The idea is, let's just say on your turn you say, I'll take a wild, because that could come in handy later. Oh my gosh, another wild, I'll take it. So first player has 2 wilds, they're good to go. They've used their 2 actions. The next player goes, ooh, 3 stone, that's a lot. Nothing here needs stone right now, but maybe I'll need it later, so they'll take it. And then, oh my gosh, 3 diamond. Diamond is the rarest, and it will generate the most points if you get diamond weapons and whatnot. And like that shovel is worth 3 points. And shovels aren't worth as many points, generally speaking, as other items. But a diamond, that's the most expensive one, the most expensive in the sense that diamond's rare, and it's the most points you'll get for a shovel. So I'll take that. Now it comes back around. Oh, let's see. Well, this guy, let's say he wants to take 2 wood because it's nice to have 2 wood instead of 1. I don't know what I want. I'll get an iron. I could use that at some point. Probably should have taken that gold actually, because we want to go for the big 5-pointer pickaxe. So you take this. Now here's what's goofy. This is, as you're going along, this is what you're doing. You're just taking these cards. The instructions tell you what the object of the game is. Be the first player to earn the most points. Oh my gosh. If that means if I get something, I win because I have the most. Well, that's not really true. It's just goofy wording. It does tell you later. Winning the game, the player who accumulates the required game points first wins. Well, that's way better. That makes more sense. 2-player game, 24 points. 3-player, 20. 4-player, 16. So that's how you actually win. So you're trying to get the points on these things as quickly as possible so you can win. Now, let's just say I've gotten to this point and I go, oh, I've got 2 wood. I can use that to make something. I have 2 wilds. Ooh, perfect. Let me use, I've got something better. 2 wood, 2 wilds, and a gold. Well, those 2 wilds and a gold can make 3 gold, and my 2 wood is enough to get this pickaxe. So I take it. Wow, 5 points. I flip it over. Every item has a 1-use ability. Now, whether or not you use it, you still get the points. But in this particular case, I can immediately spend a pickaxe to give me 1 more action on my turn, and then I can go again, and maybe I'll get some iron. Obviously, you'd probably want to save it for a time whenever it's more important, something more special. But either way, that's 5 points. That's great. And shovels, if you ever get a shovel, you can actually use it to make someone else lose an action on their turn, so they only have 1 action. And then axes can be used, and that's worth a lot, 5, and takes a lot of diamond. But an axe can be used to give, basically you can use it to make 2 wood for crafting something. You can spend it, for like if I wanted to get this thing, I can spend this and 2 other wood to make this axe right here. And then, what's the other one? There's one more item. Oh yeah. The hoe. The hoe will let you just clear all the top cards and then into the discard pile so that it's all fresh stuff, which could be useful if there's a bunch of junk and you're hoping you uncover something interesting. Now, here's the thing. There are some interesting things in here. Ooh, 3 wood. 2 iron. Looks like none of the interesting stuff got put in there. Let's go to the next pile. We have this, TNT. If TNT comes up and you mine it, you discard it, and you take the other 4, the top card of all the other stacks, and then you can keep 2, everything else gets discarded. So TNT is a no-brainer. If you get TNT, you need to hit it because the next person will if you don't. If a creeper card shows up, I did miss one other thing, the sword, and that's a perfect time to mention it. The creeper card makes it to where as soon as it shows up, it gets discarded, but everyone has to discard a card from their hand, one of the resource cards that they've collected. Unless you have a sword, you can flip it over. You say, oh, I'm going to spend this. Boom, I stopped that creeper, and you don't have to discard a card. So that's basically the game. You're just going through these stacks, picking what's best and what's going to get you the most points of what's available. As you're doing this, you're uncovering new cards. Like, oh wow, that's nice. Oh, that's pathetic. It's gold, and which normally you would think is great, and it's still only worth 1 point. Forget that. But you can't get rid of it. So if there's some junky card on top, you're kind of stuck there until someone takes it, or you all just work off the other stacks. But that's how you play. Obviously, you can see that the opportunisticness is epic because, getting 3 diamond versus, 1 wood is a humongous difference. And, you just never know what's going to come up. And sometimes you just get better stuff. Like, 1 diamond versus 3, obviously the 3 is better. 3 gold, and I want to say there might be a triple wild. I can't remember if it's a triple wild or if it's just a double wild. But, no, that's not it. I could be wrong about that, but there's just, you just never know what's coming up. So it means that some people, oh yeah, there it is, double wild. 2 of anything you want. That's super powerful. So before I go to my closing comments, that's how you play Minecraft, the card game. Let's go ahead and go up, and I will tell you what I think about both of these games in my comparison. Okay, so you see that these games mechanically are very similar. You get resources, then you spend them to get stuff. That's pretty much the gist of it. The main difference with mechanically, I guess, is that Splendor is engine building. You're buying stuff so that you can then get better stuff, as opposed to in Minecraft, you're buying stuff so that you can then use those, not only to get points, but to also use the actions to hurt or help yourself, or hurt others or help yourself. So very similar in that sense. Now, here's the deal. The Minecraft card game, my son really enjoys Minecraft. I like Minecraft. It's a great video game. And we got this part because Nathan was really excited about Minecraft. He said, hey, let's buy it. I said, hey, sure, let's go ahead and give it a shot. And Splendor I got because back in the day, I heard a lot of good things about it, and I wanted something simple that me and my wife could play, that she would enjoy, nothing too heavy, and it seemed like it might fit the bill. So, where did it fall? What does everyone think in my family about these games? I'll just say this. Splendor is so much better, it's not even funny. And probably most people probably expect that because, I hate to say because of Mattel, but because Mattel. That's part of the problem here, I think. There's not as much thought that went into this, because with Minecraft, the card game, these resource stacks that you're working off of, they basically, they decide too much. There's too much luck. I mean, I don't mind luck in games, and some games, the luck can even help the mechanisms and help the fun and the excitement and the thrill. Like in some dice-based games, that luck of the dice roll can be what causes the excitement. And here, it really causes more frustration. You might go, well, the best thing I can get is a 2 wood. Okay, I'll get that. And then you uncover a TNT that someone's going to be able to use on their turn, which gives them more stuff. And then, or you uncover a triple diamond or a double wild, and you're like, oh my gosh, why couldn't I have got that? I mean, it's frustrating whenever your best moves are not great, and then you actually help someone else on their next turn to do awesome stuff, and there's nothing you could have done about it. That's not fun. As opposed to Splendor, you can strategically take gems to keep people from getting them, and you can, you see that maybe they're working towards a certain card, and you go, ooh, I'll reserve that card for later, and you get a wild as a result. Here, in Minecraft, if you reserve a card, can be powerful. You can stop someone from getting something good, but inevitably there's going to be something else that comes along that they're going to be able to use that same stuff that they got to get. So you reserve that one card and you don't get anything else. At least with Splendor, taking that card, see, that's kind of a waste of an action. In Minecraft especially. You could get a resource that you really need, or you could reserve a card for later so you can buy it at a later time. I mean, it can be strategically useful, but in Splendor it's really useful because you get a wild which is powerful, and you reserve the card so someone else can't get it. And with Splendor, not all cards are worth points, so you can purposely pull one of the easier to get point cards. Here, in Minecraft, you're pretty much going to be able to get this stuff because you're constantly getting resources all the time, and there's wilds and all this other stuff. It's hard to really stop anyone from getting good stuff. So reserving one card isn't really going to change the game that much. I mean, it could if someone's really just devoted a lot of time to getting something, maybe a diamond pickaxe, so they laboriously got 3 diamonds, 3 cards of 1 diamond, and a little bit, and they're 1 wood away, and you're like, oh, I'll take that, so you can't get it. Yeah, that could be a doozy of a move, but at the same time, if you're playing more than 2 players in the Minecraft card game, the other person that's not getting hurt by that because they weren't going for that card, they don't care. They just keep on moving ahead. At least in Splendor, you get that wild to help supplement the lack of doing something else that's truly beneficial to yourself. And and that's really what gets me about the Minecraft card game. It just feels like you're just doing stuff to do it, I guess. I mean, you're getting these resources because they're the best. Well, it's obvious. It's not even thought. You're just working. I mean, it's almost like work. I mean, well, I know this is the best. I know this is the best. I'll take it. In Splendor, there's more thought that goes into which gems do I take? Which ones are going to help me the most? Long term, what can I use these for? And taking these, will it hurt someone else because they need those gems? They need a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that goes into Splendor, and with that, and that keeps it interesting. Not only that, but you're working for those nobles. So those nobles, you're keeping that in your mind. You go, you know what? I really wanted to get this, but maybe I should go for this so I can get this noble before someone else does, because they're one and done points. You don't want to give someone else the chance to get them if you can stop them. And so just the extra things that happen in Splendor, and honestly, the artwork is great in Splendor. Visually, it looks great. The cards on Minecraft, they're thematic, yes. I mean, they fit the theme of the game, but it just doesn't look as appealing on the table. I mean, it's just a bunch of cards, and they're, you know, decent quality but not great, and it's just without the visual appeal and without the interesting moves that you can make, and so much luck being in the draw, and then you flip over, you reveal a creeper, you're like, oh gosh, we all got to discard a card. I mean, it adds some exciting moments, but they're almost more annoying than they are interesting and fun. So I hate to say it, but Minecraft just doesn't compare. It just doesn't. And my son, on the other hand, he thinks, now he hasn't played Splendor, but he thinks the Minecraft card game is one of the best. But he really likes Minecraft, so that he gets into the theme, and he likes, and it's simple. So as a kid's game, sure, it's enjoyable, but mechanically, since it's so similar to Splendor, Splendor is definitely the adult's version of this style of game, because there's just more thought, more interesting decisions to make. So Minecraft, for the kids, great, no problem. But if you want something that actually has these kind of mechanics where you're getting resources to buy stuff, and it's super quick and simple, and if you like engine building, Splendor is great. So what do I think overall? Minecraft gets a 5 out of 10 from me. It just doesn't... I just don't care that it's in my collection. I could get rid of it, and I wouldn't even blink an eye. On the other hand, I don't mind playing it with my son. It's not just horrible. I mean, I'll play it if he wants to play. It's just nothing that whether or not I have it doesn't really faze me. Splendor fills the bill, and I give it an 8 out of 10 because I recommend it. It's not necessarily my type of game, because, you know, I like more of the combat or real serious player interaction type games, but I still recommend it because it fits that slot of a good family game that's easy to play. You can get anybody into it. Super simple, and that gives it a big plus for me. I like it because my wife can enjoy it. She actually enjoys this game, and she doesn't enjoy the Minecraft one as much for the reasons that I've said, I'm sure. And my mom's played Splendor. She likes it. It's something that just works in a lot of different groups because it's so simple, and yet there's interesting decisions to be made, at least in my opinion. So that's what I think. That's my comparison. Hey, you know, maybe you disagree. Maybe you have some questions or comments. Leave them down below. Let me know what you think. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And subscribe if you want to see more. Until the next video, I will be doing who knows what, trying to make more awesome stuff, and I'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye.